Phase one was when we were in a research phase. So he came to Singapore. We worked with Tan Bing Tian from the Finger Players as well as a puppet master in Singapore. Just kind of, we really didn't know what exactly what we wanted to say. So it was a very open time. We spent most afternoons at Ken Hill Art Center with Bing Tian's company, just playing around with the puppets that they have on hand and just having a lot of conversations.
What I got from it is the kind of the manipulation of puppet and the manipulation of meanings and something. I got some idea that connect those things together. And also like when we like start writing in phase two, there are also some possibilities that I feel like because we are only two actors. So at some point I might also use like some kind of puppetry in the myth. And I think for me that's also reflect like back to the idea of exploitation of meaning or manipulating meanings or whatever. Puppet is also something that I kind of got from that.
I think we were looking for inspiration, so we went to different parts of Singapore that had water, like the Singapore River. We went to Changi Village, Changi Beach. Yeah, and so we just looked for impetus and writing, and then that was a 2-week process. And then I went back, then he went back to Bangkok.
Yeah, and you went to Bangkok in January
this year, 2017.
Right? Yeah, so I brought him to join the director lab. That's like in Chiang Mai. But then we meet like theater people, and you can see like what's happening around.
It was the Bangkok Theatre Network's kind of retreat for directors, organized by Pradip Prasutong at his place in Qingdao.
Yep. And then after that we go to Bang San to explore Khon dance.
Yeah, so we were working with
Sunshine.
MUPA, which stands for?
Musicality.
Music University Performing Arts, right?
Burapha University, MUPA.
The Dean, Sanchai, Kun Sanchai, he basically created a kind of curriculum, a 7-day curriculum around traditional Thai dance with a focus on Khon. And so we met the faculty there. We got exposed to I got exposed to traditional Thai music, classical music. The students who were learning classical arts, the faculty who were teaching it, and then some very basic, like really a smell of what training as a Khon artist could be. So it was very, very basic, like physical work. We did get on our feet quite a lot for that week. We also gave a workshop to the students of MUPA, kind of sharing our process a bit between the two of us. It was an 8-hour workshop, and they were theater students, contemporary theater students, and that was kind of an exchange because we were resident at MUPA and Burapha University's MUPA, and so that was kind of our side of the bargain, I guess.
This place is changing a lot, like it's so quick to the point that I know that I kind of like getting to understand more why you interested in the geography, because it's changed quite fast. Like the city, the people, or even the shape of the country, right? Yeah, while in Thailand, in Bangkok, actually geography is there, it's efficacious, but it's changed like really slow, or it's like slightly changed the view, the city, and that makes us like, or Thai people, or even me, kind of really like chill with change, or kind of like not really like, you know, not we would be afraid if it changed too fast. While I think people here is a bit okay with changes because it's always like happens all the time. At some point you need to accept it and it's just go, right? Yeah, and that's also the connect to what I saw in the past shows. I already told you about like during my time of study here, I saw a lot of plays that talk about like identity of Singapore. Like we are
very obsessed.
Yeah, and that's like obsessions. At some point, I really like talked to my friend in class that is this your identity? Like looking for identity.
Yeah, I think that's the main contrast as well. Like, I have to be careful what I say, because there is a very strong pride, and rightly so. I mean, it's such a long tradition. Thai culture has such a long tradition, more so than our 50 plus years, right, as a Singaporean state. So I think one of the challenges of showing you Singapore was that what makes Singapore, right? Is it Chinese puppetry? Is it wayang kulit? You know, what is it that makes Singapore like we've claimed these? So I think, but then it was easy going to Thailand to do it because what makes Thai culture is so strong, right? It's got such a beautiful and long tradition. So I mean, in reflection as well, what you just said, like, we're so easy with change. Well, I don't think you guys are that good with change. Thailand has gone through a tremendous amount of change in the last 9 months with the passing of His Excellency King Bhumipol. So I think it's really interesting to see it from a colonized, with the vestiges of colony, like on as a Singaporean, versus a culture that has such a long tradition. As an artist as well, it's really interesting to converse with other artists in this kind of contemporary time. One thing that was very that stood out in my mind in that conversation at the Directors Lab was someone asked me, "Oh, so what is contemporary theatre in Singapore?" I didn't know how to answer that because to us, contemporary theatre is anything that we're doing right now, right? And we are doing contemporary theatre. It is an art movement. Well, for Thai culture, it's a very strong distinction between what is traditional arts and what is anything that is in response to not being traditional arts, if I can kind of encapsulate this that.
Yeah.
So the idea of contemporary was something that at that point the Bangkok Theatre Network was kind of struggling with, or at least people were asking those questions. So while for us, well, like, oh, what's our identity? Let's look back. Let's always try to figure that out. And while on that side, they're trying to figure out what is the future for them while having this beautiful but heavy weight of the past with them.